Welcome back to Hudson Valley Week in Review. I'm Amy Greene. We continue with the conversation on travel infrastructure in Ulster County. Kristen Wilson is an active leader with the Complete Streets initiative. She talks more now about it, including how residents can get involved.
Any Complete Streets project is going to look, first obviously at engineering and solutions. How can we make it easier for bicyclists and pedestrians to get around, and also people who are using transit, but then also how can we also improve traffic flow? So I think a lot of times people think of these things in conflict. It's either pedestrians and bicyclists or motorists, but it doesn't have to be that way. And there are a lot of great engineering solutions that can accommodate both motorists and pedestrians and bicyclists. So the engineering is the first E. So education is the second E. So educating pedestrians and bicyclists about how to navigate the roads better, and also motorists. I think that's really important that motorists need to know to stop for pedestrians and crosswalks, to be on the lookout for bicyclists and pedestrians, that bicyclists are allowed by New York State law. They're allowed to be on the road anywhere in New York State. They're considered a vehicle as well. So education is a huge component. Encouragement in Kingston, so you asked about Kingston, we've had a number of walk, bike, and roll to school days. So encouraging people to get out and walk on a certain day. We've also had bike to work days or bike to school days. So those are sort of examples of encouragement activities that we may be doing in Kingston, and then also maybe in Saugerties and Ellenville as well. So we have education, encouragement, engineering, evaluation. So evaluation, actually in Kingston, we're just starting up with a new grant project called Plan for Health, and part of that is going to be evaluating. Kingston has a number of projects planned to improve Broadway and to improve, we'll have a new rail trail in Kingston soon. So we want to set up evaluation to find out, how are people using the roads now, and then how are they going to be using them after we do all these improvements. And we'd like to be able to see what the difference will be. So enforcement in Saugerties, the chief of police there is very active. He's one of the champions, really, of this project, and he is working on enforcement of jaywalking and also of motorists, to try to educate people in Saugerties that if you're crossing the street, you need to look both ways and you need to cross in the right places, and then for motorists to be stopping for pedestrians, and really what that's about is creating a new level of respect between motorists and pedestrians, and so that's a really key piece of keeping the streets safe. And you need to have all 5 E's as part of a Complete Streets project, because you can do some great engineering solutions, and they probably will work very well, but you also need to have all the other E's as well to make sure that the community knows how to use the new engineering solutions, or also to generate excitement about walking and bicycling. Bicycle sharrows are, there are many treatments, what they call in the engineering world, for a road treatment. Basically is, changing the road to accommodate a different user. Bicycle sharrows, people have heard of, I'm sure lots of people have heard about bike lanes. Bicycle sharrows are another road treatment, and basically it's a bicyclist with a chevron on the top of it. It looks a lot like the bicyclist that you would see in a bike lane, but it's not a bike lane. It's actually in the road, and it's indicating to motorists that bicyclists share this road. This is a sharrow. Bicyclists are going to be sharing this road with you, and it indicates to bicyclists to go in a specific direction on the road. So really, it's an educational tool. It helps both motorists and bicyclists be a little bit safer with their behavior on the road. We will be actually doing a bicycle sharrow installation in Saugerties in the spring. And they have a bike route that the community identified several years ago. They have a couple of bike routes, bike route A, B, and C. They're historic bike routes in Saugerties, and we will be putting bicycle sharrows on bike route A. Sharrows are typically used on a road that's not necessarily wide enough for lanes, but it's maybe a narrow road, and it's where bicyclists may be, as well as motorists. Also in that project, we'll be putting up bicycle in lane signs. Maybe you've seen the share the road signs before for bicyclists. These are going to be bicycle in lane signs. A lot of times cities will install a sidewalk, and then the homeowners are responsible for maintaining the sidewalk. In many communities and especially in Kingston, Ellenville, and Saugerties, many of the sidewalks were installed maybe 100 years ago, and they were bluestone sidewalks. And for a homeowner to maintain their sidewalks, some homeowners do a really great job of maintaining their sidewalks. But for some homeowners, and especially if you have an absentee landlord or somebody who's lower income, who really doesn't have the resources to maintain the sidewalk, then it's usually pretty low on the priority list. For homeowners, usually when they're interested in maintaining and making sure they have, a good roof on their house and, a great heating system or whatever it is that they need to be able to live a comfortable life in their house. So the sidewalk is often the thing that homeowners can't spend money on after they're spending money on other repairs for their house. Unless the code is enforced, and cities are really vigilant about enforcing the maintenance of sidewalks, which is very difficult as well for code enforcement officers to keep up with that, and for cities to keep up with that. It's a lot of administrative management. So what we're seeing through many communities in New York State is this infrastructure is degrading, and so what I think we'll be looking at in Ulster County over the next couple of years, and we will definitely be looking at it in Kingston, is how do we deal with this issue, and how do we change the policies to be able to either help homeowners maintain their sidewalks, or figure out a new policy that's going to work better for communities. And that's going to probably be a challenging political issue, because that also could maybe mean that municipalities start taking back some of the responsibility for sidewalks. And I don't know how that'll, how that'll be taken by municipalities. So it's a really challenging issue. Well, they can get involved either by attending the Complete Streets Advisory Council meetings in their town. In Saugerties, we meet on, I believe it is the Tuesdays. Yes, I get confused between Saugerties and Ellenville. So in Saugerties, we meet on Tuesdays at 7 p.m., the last Tuesday of the month. And and people could send me a message and find out more information about how to get involved with those meetings. Or and then in Ellenville, we meet on Thursdays at 5 p.m. It's the last Thursday of the month at 5 p.m. And so they could get involved with those. And I think in each of the communities, we will be reaching out to communities to get involved, to community members. In Kingston, we also have a Complete Streets Advisory Council, and they don't meet on a monthly basis. They meet on a quarterly basis, so it's sort of variable meeting dates. But we do have an advisory council, and we are seeking new members in Kingston. The Saugerties and Ellenville councils are essentially nearly full, but in Kingston, we still need new members. So we'd love to have more people join us.
Now, if you'd like to participate in any Complete Streets project, you can contact Kristen Wilson at the number or email at the bottom of your screen. When we come back, we'll take a look at news making headlines across the region. Stay with us.